Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, A Step Towards Study. So today I brought for you questions on Constituent Assembly. So it is based on polity. We will go through few of the questions on Constituent Assembly. So let's begin. Before that, I would like to remind you, please like and subscribe and provide any comments to improve our channel. Thank you. So let's begin now. So let's go to the first question. Who coined the word Constituent Assembly? किए Constituent Assembly को फर्स्ट टाइम कही थिले वर्डटा को नहीं थिले कही थिले तो हु कॉइन्ड द वर्ड Constituent Assembly? जवाहरलाल नेहरू, महात्मा गांधी, मोतीलाल नेहरू, AMIN Roy. So the right answer is AMIN Roy. Now let's move on to the second question. Who demanded Constituent Assembly for India? So मैंने ऑलरेडी जान छी जो Constituent Assembly जेतल डिमांड करा गला सेतल केते केते पार्टीज थिले आमर INC थिला मुख्य पार्टी इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस Muslim League thila. Some states were there who were not a part of any of the party. So question is, who demanded Constituent Assembly for India? So is it INC? Is it Muslim League? Is it princely states? So the answer is INC. Answer is INC. Let's move on to the third question. When was the Constituent Assembly demanded for India? केबे Constituent Assembly इंडिया पे डिमांड करा जायतिला वो जायतिला कि हमको Constituent Assembly दरकार ही दरकार 1934, 1935, 1938, 1947. So the right answer is 1935. 1934, AMIN Roy had coined this word, had termed this word, had given this word Constituent Assembly, but the demand came in 1935. So let's move on to the next question. When was the Constituent Assembly formed? Constituent Assembly केबे गठन करा जायतिला? So when was the Constituent Assembly formed? 1942, 1946, 1947, 1950. So what is the correct answer for this? When was the Constituent Assembly formed? It is 1946. Next question is, how many members of the Constituent Assembly were selected? How the members of the Constituent Assembly were selected? Whether they are nominated by the British government, whether they are elected by the provincial assemblies, whether they are elected by the British government. So Constituent Assembly जो members सब थे किए से part है Constituent Assembly रो so से माने केमिति selection टा हेतला either British government तांको nominate करथिला कि British government तांको elect करथिला कि provincial assembly तांको elect करथिला. So the right answer is they were elected by the provincial assemblies. Let's move on to the next question. When was the first meeting held for the Constituent Assembly? Now if I tell you something regarding this, how the members of the Constituent Assembly were selected, so I can say the members were to be indirectly elected by the members of the provincial assemblies. So provincial assemblies were member. How they were elected? Provincial assemblies were elected on a limited franchise. A franchise was formed and they elected the provincial assembly, and from provincial assembly Constituent Assembly members are selected or were elected, not selected, elected. So let's move on to the next question. When was the first meeting held for the Constituent Assembly? So first meeting केबे हेतला Constituent Assembly तो हमरा सेटअप हेले 1946 रे. The first meeting तो हमरा केबे हेतला? December 9, December 10 or 1946, August 15, 1947, January 26, 1950. So it was on December 9, 1946. That was the day when the first meeting was held for the Constituent Assembly. Then if you move on to the next question, sorry, I moved a bit faster. So how many members attended the meeting of the Constituent Assembly? How many members attended the meeting of the Constituent Assembly? So total member, we already know the total strength was 389. Out of these 296 were of British India state, 93 were princely state. So actually how many members attended this Constituent Assembly? केते जन अटेंड करिथिले? टोटल सिन हमर 389 थिला कि टोटल हमर ब्रिटिश इंडिया रे 396 थिला, प्रिंसली स्टेट्स हमर 93 थिला, बट केते जन एक्चुअली कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली को अटेंड करथिले? कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली रे हमर मुस्लिम लीग अटेंड कर नथिले, से माने सेपरेट पाकिस्तान डिमांड करथिले, तो से माने अटेंड कर नथिले. तो टोटल मेंबर हमर थिले 211. टोटल मेंबर हमर थिले 211. Next question. Who was elected the temporary president of the assembly? So assembly तो start है December 1946 रे, but गोटे president भी हवा दरकार से तो इसने election, indirect election से थे, but somebody needs to preside, somebody needs to address the assembly. So who was elected the temporary president? Jawaharlal Nehru, Sachidananda Sinha, Rajendra Prasad. So it was Dr. Sachidananda Sinha. Who is the first president of the Constituent Assembly? So first president of the Constituent Assembly, temporary president is Sachidananda Sinha. So we have to elect someone permanent, not permanent, but actual president. So who was the first president? So the first president, as we all know, it is Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Now if you move on to the 10th question, when was the objective resolution passed? This first president of the Constituent Assembly was elected on 10th December 1946. 9 December now session started, and the temporary president, he worked for one day, and the next day Dr. Rajendra Prasad, he was declared as the first president elected. Now when was the objective resolution passed? So objective resolution was passed on December 13, 1946. As we know that the preamble, which we say, it was a part of the objective resolution, and objective resolution was passed by Jawaharlal Nehru. He was the person who moved this objective resolution. Okay, we will continue our discuss further, and I will bring you few more questions on this also. So for today, thank you and bye bye.